All right, folks, it's looking like it is 3:30, so we are going to go ahead and get started today. Thanks to everybody for being here on time, and we're excited today to kick off our third day of partner showcases for STEM.LD. We just have a couple of housekeeping notes here, and then we'll get to our presentations from, I believe it'll be Northeast State up first, and then Civil Air Patrol. Let me make sure I actually see our Northeast State rep here. If we have our Northeast State rep here, just shoot me a message in the chat, please, and we'll make sure we get you set up to be a co-host. I know our normal contact there, Dr. Donna Farrell, had a conflict, so I believe she was going to delegate that. So yeah, thanks for being here. A couple of things to cover off. If you haven't been to one of our showcases yet, part of the purpose of these is to get you introduced to the operating partners, the deep dive partners that we have as part of STEM.LD, with the goal of helping you understand their offerings as part of the grant. Every school and every STEM teacher that's in the grant has the opportunity to partner with these deep dive partners and get access to, in some cases, it's professional development, curriculum materials, in-classroom activities, out-of-school time activities for students, and even advanced coursework. So there's a pretty broad variety of things that different partners are bringing to the table. They're all sort of experts in their own STEM world. And so we just wanted to give them a chance to talk to you directly as educators and see if there's a chance for there to be a good fit there. So there will be a survey posted in the chat, and I'll also throw it up on the screen at the very end of the showcase today. You will need to take that if you want credit for your school to note that they have attended. So if, just as a reminder, we do require that every school send at least one representative to each of the several showcases that we've had, in order to make sure that they've actually got to see all the partners and their offerings. We just need to make sure that everybody's getting a chance to do that. So stay tuned to the end for that link, and make sure that you do fill that out. Otherwise, we'll be following up with emails asking, hey, have you attended? There will be the opportunity to get this in recording form, so you'll be able to share that with other folks at your school later on. And of course, if somebody misses or has a conflict, then they can follow up that particular way. Let's see. All right, I think we've got our Northeast State contact here, Brochet. If you don't mind to make them, it's down and just listed as Northeast State. I think that'll be our person there, and we'll go ahead and turn it over to them. So Northeast State is going to be presenting on their offerings with STEM.LD. They've got some exciting things happening in the summers as well as starting up next fall. And I will let them introduce themselves here as soon as we get them set up. Let's see.
Thank you. Hopefully you can hear us. We've had some technical.
We can kind of hear you. Okay. It's a little soft.
We've had a little bit of network difficulties, so hopefully.
Now you're good. I think you're good. That may have been on my end. Sorry about that.
Awesome. Okay, I'd like to share our screen. You can pull up. Okay, we would like to share with you some of the exciting things that we're doing here at Northeast State in partnership with STEM.LD. We're super thankful for the opportunities that we've been able to give our community and promotions and such over the past year, and we're actually carrying on through the summer of this year. So some of the things that we've done last year, we offered an Explorer Camp for our local high school partners. We have 17 high schools that we serve in our region. We did an Explorer Camp for CTE instructors and high school counselors to come and basically explore our new facility, our technical education complex. We have built a new building, which you'll see at the end of this presentation. So we brought them in and they kind of went through our labs to kind of see what our students do during their schooling here, and they can carry it on to the high school and promote our programs that way. We've never offered a camp like this. And we had a lot of positive feedback. In fact, so much feedback, positive feedback, that we are offering an Explorer Camp again this year in June 7th and 8th. So these are some of the activities that those Explorer campers went through. The very first picture here, our campers were able to visit our aviation site. And this is our Aviation Simulator, where they got to fly a plane out of Tri-Cities Regional Airport, close to us, and then fly around the region. We have some individuals who are doing some riveting work. They were able to visit our labs and visit our data center. Would you like to talk about our data center, Ray?
Yeah, our data center is actually a functioning data center. It gives students a picture, a snapshot of the real world, as if they were in their office and they needed to access data from the company. This data center functions. Their office is their seat, you know, in the classroom, and they actually access the data center. They have to know how the mapping is. They can draw, they can retrieve data that they need from there, just like you would in the real world. So when they go into the industry, they actually know how to do this. They see, oh, do you have servers? These are data servers. These are print servers. These, you know, file shares, all of this that they're going to use in the real world.
Thank you. They also went through our mechanical and HVAC electromechanical program. They did some simulation on motors and conduit bending and things like that. We also took them to our automotive shop, and they did some electrical wiring and were able to ride in our race car on campus. And then this is just a fun video. We also have a drone program. Well.
It worked earlier. Doesn't want to get a presentation. There it goes. This was taken at aviation with a drone.
Yeah, they were also able to fly drones. We have a drone program. Our aviation program is AMP licensed through the FAA, and we also are starting an avionics program this fall. So other activities that we were able to focus on through STEM.LD was our Scouts Merit Badge University. We became a university this academic year last fall. We ran our first university day where we had 72 scouts that came, and they were able to earn badges through our division in these areas: automotive, aviation, electronics, robotics, things of that nature. And we're also carrying that on. It was so popular that we've jumped from 72 scouts to 175 scouts that will be joining us on March 5th through our university. And these are also some of the areas that we're going to be offering badges for those. They are all age ranges, small scouts all the way up to adult classes as well. We also were able to run a Girls World Technology Camp, focusing on females in technology to recruit more in that area. We ran a summer camp last summer where we had 16 girls from 5th and 6th graders who were on our campus for an entire week. They were with us Monday through Friday, and these are some of the activities that we were able to provide to them. The FBI came in. We had 2 FBI female officers that did fingerprinting for them. They also did bulletproof vest challenge.
They talked about security online for the young girls, what to do, what not to do, what to watch for as far as predators go. We've named this one picture with the vest as the, what we call it? The vest challenge.
Best challenge.
They put the vest on, which is very heavy, and then the agents had them do push-ups. So,
Yeah, it was fun. They were able to do PC hardware configuration. They were able to visit our automotive shop and drive around in our race car. Also do electrical circuits. They visited our aviation and got to sit in our aviation helicopter. We also helped them build catapults, and you can see a picture of it there. They fabricated it from start to finish out of sheet metal and aluminum. They also went through our mechanical lab and did some conduit bending, pipe design, and rigging. We did a musical water challenge with them where we hooked them up to circuits, and when they basically completed the circuit when they put their foot in the water. So each of them could play a musical instrument or basically a sound. So that was really fun. We also did a banana piano with them from the Makey STEM packs, where they also, it's kind of the same premise. They completed the circuit by hooking bananas, and then when they touched themselves, like with their hands, that completed the circuit, and they were able to make sounds there. They also built Bluetooth speakers out of KiwiCo box packs that we were able to order. They also visited automotive and went through electrical training. And then they also visited our entertainment technology program and did some sound mixing and recording and stage and lighting. We're also very excited because we're able to bring technology camps back this year. We've had a lot of positive feedback and a lot of people who want to come back and repeat. So fifth graders who are coming back as sixth graders. So we're kind of changing up some of the activities that we offered last summer. And we're also able to include a Boys Rock technology camp as well. We've also incorporated over this academic year, particularly in the spring, Girls World Technology workshops. So we offer a camp in the summer for fifth and sixth graders, but during the academic year, we really wanted to focus on those higher middle school and high school age girls as well. So we have workshops in these different areas. Aviation we held in January 8th, and we were able to send those girls. We had 7th, 8th, and 9th graders in a 3-hour morning session. These are all Saturday days, and then in the afternoon session, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade girls. And at the aviation camp, they not only did activities in our aviation hangar, but they also were able to take a flight in the Cessna 172 airplane with retired Lieutenant Colonel Polly, which was very exciting. We had a lot of girls that did not expect it. It was our big surprise for that workshop. And then we're following that with welding, automotive, cybersecurity, and electrical. And just to show you really quick, we do have a Girls World Technology page where you can sponsor campers, you can register as campers with a short video, and then our Saturday workshops that we are able to fund through STEM.LD. And then just to end our quick presentation, we wanted to show you our technical education complex where we were able to hold all of these activities. Let me share my sound.
Northeast State Community College's new $29 million technical education complex on the Blountville campus houses the Technologies Division. The spacious first floor features classrooms, laboratory space, and faculty offices, replacing the former technical education buildings built in the 1960s.
Okay.
The first floor provides lab space for instruction in machining, welding, HVAC, electromechanical, electrical technology, mechatronics, and aviation. The entertainment technology program also has a lighting and sound lab, recording studios, and an editing room on the first floor. The second floor features instruction in accounting, business, computer programming, systems administration, cybersecurity, networking, the Internet of Things, entertainment technology, and administrative professional technology. Anchoring the second floor is a mock data center that houses shared information technology processes and equipment. The center provides all resources for computer information technology classrooms and plays a major role in all computer science curriculum. The second floor also houses the Lee Shillitoe Entrepreneurial Center and faculty offices, classrooms, and student lounges.
Okay.
Northeast
Well,
State.
that ends our presentation. We just wanted to thank you again for the opportunity and certainly the opportunity to share our successes and things that we've been doing for the past few months. We're excited to see what the future holds.
Awesome. Thank y'all. So at this point, what we'll do is open the floor up for questions. Does anybody have any questions about anything that they saw there, or just anything else regarding our partnership with Northeast State? If you do, you can, if you're shy, you can drop it in the chat. And if you are a little more bold, then you can unmute and ask. While we're doing that, I do want to mention that as part of this partnership process, you saw several out of school time activities there. Your students will be able to take advantage of those out of school time activities, even if the teachers at your school are not necessarily partnering with a given partner. So that's true across partners. But just know that that's an opportunity out there for your students to participate in the summer camps or the workshops in the fall that Northeast State is putting on there. So we're very excited about those initiatives. We think that there's going to be a lot of great benefit that comes out of that. While we're waiting on anybody to maybe throw a question out there before we transition to our next partner, I will ask for just a little bit of clarification on the Explorer Camp. I know that was one question that I was asked by somebody not on the call today. They were very excited about that. Is that camp for primarily for students, or is it primarily for teachers, or is it a combination?
It is geared towards administration, so faculty and staff for area high schools. Often when we have tours that come on campus, there's a faculty representative, but we hear a lot of feedback of, we would love to be involved with that. We would love to see that more. And so offering a camp, very similar to our girls camps or our boys camps that we offer at our workshops, we've turned that into one just for faculty and staff. That way they can go back and kind of share with their students what they've learned, and then hopefully encourage them to be involved in some of our upcoming events for their age.
And do y'all have limitations in terms of middle school and high school? Is it for one or the other? And then also, like, the level of staff, does it have to be an in-classroom teacher? Can it be a counselor, an administrator? Where do you draw your lines there?
Honestly, we don't have parameters. It's in our service area, so we do have a service region that we market to, and certainly if we have spots available, we would love to have middle school faculty and staff be involved as well, because they're also our pipeline when they move on to high school and then on to us, hopefully. So we don't really have limitations. Anyone that's involved with the high schools or the middle schools, we would love to have them join us. We do have limited spots though. That's even with our workshops and our camps, we do have a limited spot for those. So yeah, if you'd like more information, feel free to reach out to us. I can pop my email in the chat for anyone who would like more information on that.
Very good. And if for some reason you're watching this in the recording and you don't pick up that email, just let us know at the foundation and we can get you connected. Very good. Thank you for the clarifications on that. This will be last call for any other questions for the Northeast State folks. And if I don't see anything popping in, so we're gonna now move along to our guests from Civil Air Patrol. So we have a couple of folks here with us. We have Susan Millette and also Lieutenant Colonel Dave Garner from Civil Air Patrol here. They're going to also give their presentation on what Civil Air Patrol will be bringing to the table as far as partnership opportunities. And I believe we also have a special guest. And is that Suzanne Costner there? That's popped on. Hello, hello. Yeah, so Susan primed me that you might be appearing, and I'm happy that you're here. So I'll turn it over to Susan and the Civil Air Patrol team and let them give their presentation.
Okay, I'm looking to determine how to share my screen.
You should be a co-host, and at the bottom of the Zoom page, you should see something that says share screen. It should be like a green arrow.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
All righty. Now I need to find out which screen I need to get to. Please excuse me. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
So I'm Susan Millette from Civil Air Patrol's National Headquarters, and I'm going to be sharing information with our other two guests. But I want to share two quick videos, if I could, that will set the stage for where we're going. So let me see. I'll start with this first one here. Okay, thank you for that. Let me share one more and then we'll move on to talking and what we're going to be doing here today. So thank you for your patience.
Today, we're going to take an orientation flight, if you will, for principals. It is offered for aerospace education members. A lot of aerospace education members in the Civil Air Patrol are not pilots, and so this is an opportunity for them to get to experience flight from, from the real world. I am a certified flight instructor, so I have the experience of flying, and so instead of me taking the opportunity, I invited our principal, Tasha Brown, to take advantage of this opportunity.
We're one of few high schools that actually has its own airframe and power plant program, so students can get an A&P license if they're interested in the mechanical side of things. Our enrollment has been steadily increasing the last 3 years, but we certainly are open to a lot more students. The biggest challenge, I think, is letting our community know that Central Campus, in conjunction with the Des Moines Airport and Civil Air Patrol, we just have such great resources, but a lot of our community doesn't know that we even have an aviation program. So we're really hoping that students will enroll for the 22-23 school year, and course requests and registration is open for the fall.
Civil Air Patrol is a auxiliary unit of the United States Air Force. They are a volunteer organization. They have 3 primary focuses of search and rescue, aviation education and aerospace education, and cadet leadership programming. And I am a aerospace education member of the Civil Air Patrol. The Civil Air Patrol provides a path for our students to be involved in aviation outside of the classroom.
And we have an aerospace education program, both for our internal members and also for educators in the community, that provides tens of thousands of pages of standards compliant materials, STEM kits, and other resources free of charge to educators. Our aerospace education members also get the opportunity to come up and fly with us and experience a little bit about the joy of flight, and hopefully they can go back to their classrooms and share that with their students and fellow teachers.
We plan on taking off here in the Des Moines and flying around the schools. We'll check out the Central Campus and among other areas in the local Des Moines area, and probably come back and do maybe a landing or two just to experience the full flight experience.
What I'm most looking forward to is being able to see the city from a site that I've never been able to see before. Looking forward to that.
You're right up in the cockpit. You get to see what's going on. You have a great view around you, and you really feel what it's like to fly. For our cadets who join Civil Air Patrol, we provide several orientation flights for them to get used to flying in an airplane where they actually get to fly the controls and experience that a little bit for themselves. And for our aerospace education members, in other words, our teachers, such as we're flying today, they'll get the same experience. In our cadet program, we love to inspire youngsters to pursue these fields, even if they don't become pilots. That's not the goal of what we do, but we want them to think about the aviation fields and all the related aeronautical engineering fields and the broader STEM fields as well, and consider being a part of those careers.
Okay, thank you so much. That was just an overview of what we do for us with Civil Air Patrol for young people and for our teachers. So what we'd like to do now is give you an overview of what we really do for our educator members and their students. Our organization is a bit different than some of your other partner organizations in that we are a national organization. And we do have a cadet program for young people ages 12 and above, which we'll be discussing. But we feel very strongly that we focus on our educators and providing them professional development and the resources and the mentors and such to support their classrooms as much as possible. We know that these great summer programs for young people are really great, but if they come back to a classroom where there's a stagnant teacher or a teacher who doesn't have the resources to support him or her in perpetuating that interest in those STEM careers the students have learned about, then those excitements and the perpetuation of that, as I said, stagnates and doesn't move forward. So we want to provide some materials, support, and resources to teachers in your area and help you as many ways as we can. So today with me, I have Lieutenant Colonel Dave Garner. As Law said, he is the Civil Air Patrol Tennessee Wing External Director of Aerospace Education. He's also on our national volunteer staff at Civil Air Patrol as our AE Workshop Director and Coordinator, and he lives in Knoxville, Tennessee. So he's close enough to you to drive within a day, and hopefully he will be able to do that. And the other person we've mentioned is Suzanne Costner. She was our 2017 National CAP Teacher of the Year and also the 2015 National Aerospace Connections and Education Teacher of the Year. She is a STEM coordinator and a librarian at Fairview Elementary School in Maryville, Tennessee. So I think that you'll really enjoy meeting her and seeing what she has to do in her school that using our products and our programs. At Civil Air Patrol, our aerospace STEM education programs is what we're going to be focusing on because we are investing in the future of any student and young person around the nation. Hopefully, we can help yours in the Tri-City areas in Northeast Tennessee. For the ways that we're making differences contributing to the issues that are facing workforce development. 76% of students 11 to 17 years old don't even know what engineers do for work. And only 20% of girls ages 15 to 16 have a positive perception of jobs in engineering. We're trying to rectify those things in the programs that we do. Also, with a pilot shortage, our Civil Air Patrol is an aviation organization, and we're looking at a strong pilot shortage all around the nation, not just in this year with a less than 10,000 deficit shortage this year, but also in the next decade of almost over 400,000 pilots that will be needed in our nation. COVID has certainly given us a pilot layoff problem, and we're trying to regenerate that and help prepare our future aviation workforce for with our students that we're preparing today, not just for the pilot part of the aviation industry, but all of the other aerospace and aviation industry aspects as well. Civil Air Patrol's aerospace and STEM education mission is to empower members with opportunities and resources to promote aerospace-related STEM education and careers. We hope that each of you in these schools will become one of our members that you heard about in the video before. We'll explain that in just a moment. But who is Civil Air Patrol? We are volunteers. I happen to work at the national headquarters, and I didn't even say that part when I was introducing the other two, but I work at Maxwell Air Force Base in Montgomery, Alabama, not too far from you, but I'm their educational outreach coordinator, and we are a paid staff. The other two people on this video today or presentation are volunteers. So we are volunteers all across the nation who serve America's communities by saving lives and shaping futures. We started 80 years ago and in the earliest days of World War II, founded to mobilize our nation's civilian aviation resources for national defense for the future. Today, we are a great organization that's a premier public service organization that still carries out emergency service missions when needed in the air and on the ground across the country. So we are the auxiliary of the United States Air Force. We're a non-combat aspect of the organization, but we are a force multiplier for the organization and for our nation. From the very beginning of Civil Air Patrol, we've been a diversity and inclusive type organization. We've had minorities and females in our organization since the beginning and in leadership roles and now. What do we do? Well, we have varied aircraft operations on the ground. Our aircraft are working to train young people on how to work in avionics and training and such. We also have lots of aircraft in the air doing nice missions. As you can see, we have powered craft, sailplanes, or gliders, hot air balloons, and float planes. So a lot of nice variety. In all of this presentation that will be downloaded and saved for you, there are links everywhere for you to do deeper dives into what our organization does. We're going to try to do a very quick overview of what we do. But what we're doing is trying to connect to future STEM careers through everything that we're doing in our organization. Our emergency services personnel have aviation and ground transportation personnel to conduct search and rescue missions, disaster relief, homeland security, and other humanitarian missions for America. Our operations team has experienced pilots who fly disaster relief missions and fly our cadets and our teacher members, while also providing flight instruction for our cadets to earn their private pilot certificate. In search and rescue, in the last 3 fiscal years, like 130 lives were saved in FY20, 188 in FY21, and thus far in FY22, 23 lives have been saved through the work of Civil Air Patrol, which we'll share about that in just a moment. Disaster relief, we provide disaster support with airborne as well as ground responders using both our adult members and our cadets. They are learning right alongside our cadets and I think our adults. And we think that's very, very important. During COVID, we have really ramped up our deliverables and our mission support to communities across the nation. As you can see, over 10,000 blood units have been delivered. That will save over 30,000 lives. Almost 10 million meals have been delivered, bulk food, 1.5 million, over 3 million masks, test kits, test samples, images from disaster relief. And all this equates to 50,000 plus volunteer days of service valued at approximately $12 million that our volunteers do across the nation. And how do we do this? I'm not going to go into each one of these items to show you, but these are things that our cadets and your students can learn from what our adults are doing and how we're working across the nation. We're connecting everything to STEM so that our young people can be following along in our subject matter experts' footsteps and learning the new career opportunities for themselves through cell phone forensics, radar analysis, airborne sensors, artificial intelligence and data analysis, remote sensing, geographical informational system. We also do chase and escort missions for remotely piloted aircraft. And we also have a very robust and growing small UAS or unmanned aerial system program in Civil Air Patrol, commonly called drones to most people. But that is a very growing program, both within our cadets and for our adults doing search and rescue and reconnaissance type missions. We have a lot of organizational resources. The first of which is most important is our people. We have 33,000 adults, 23,000 cadets, over 5,000 teacher members. All of these people are ready and willing to work within schools to support them as they can. With over 570 airplanes, 47 gliders, 2 hot air balloons, 2,100 small UAS, and 15,000 radios and repeaters. Those are some of our tangible type resources. Civil Air Patrol continues to use radios and repeaters because in a national emergency, the first thing that would be shut down would be our internet connections, our GPS and satellite connections to our phones. So Civil Air Patrol is prepared for any type of emergency that may come about. Our cadet program for ages 12 and up, those young people are learning about aerospace and STEM career exploration, They're going through flight academies and they're earning scholarships to earn their private pilot certificate. They learn about character education, community service, leadership, as well as followership and physical fitness development. All of these things are helping them to prepare to be a part of the future workforce. So we're focused on aerospace and STEM education, so we'll go over that today. We've got a colorful graphic for you here, and we're going to be going over these 4 different areas that I think will be important for you as teachers and principals in your schools. Through our teacher members, we impact over 700,000 young people every year, and 80% of them are more interested in aerospace-related STEM careers after working in our programs. So the next areas we're going to talk about, I'm going to turn this over to Lieutenant Colonel Dave Garner. I think that he would like for you to call him Dave. So I'll turn it over to Dave now to talk about some of our programs. And then Suzanne will be sharing how she uses our programs in her classrooms and throughout her school. And finally, we'll talk about how our squadrons that are near you can help and support you, and how the young people can be involved in our cadet program. So I'll turn it over to Dave now.
Well, I appreciate being here and representing Tennessee Wing and Civil Air Patrol Aerospace Education. We have outstanding resources for you as a teacher in your school. As you see listed on this slide, we have the entire K through 12 covered with STEM kits, STEM related curriculum. All of this meets national standards and fits easily into your curriculum. We have for the lower elementary school, K through 6, we have the ACE program. It's specifically designed for that age group. And Suzanne Costner, who's going to be presenting here in just a very few minutes, is a really expert in this part of the program and won National Teacher of the Year by implementing the ACE program at her school. Now, one of the most exciting resources that we have come up with in Civil Air Patrol to reach the classroom teacher is the STEM kits. These kits are basically funded by the United States Air Force and available to you as a teacher to use in your classroom that you keep. And these will be free of charge for our partners. And they meet national curriculum standards. They come with the teacher guides and additional programs you can use for each STEM kit. And we have a variety of kits from telescopes, rockets, remote control aircraft, Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think currently we have about 16 to 17 different unique kits. Then we have the ability to fly the teachers through a program we call Top Flights. And basically you coordinate that through the state CAP, which would be Tennessee Wing. We will bring one of our aircraft, a Cessna usually, up to your school, to your local airport, and fly you around your area and over your school. So we have a lot of resources to offer you, and all of this is basically free of charge.
And I would like to add one thing, Dave. That law today sent us some links to your Tennessee state standards for physical science and such. And Suzanne had worked on that as well, too. So we have a link right here that'll go to that listing, and we'll continue building that out for you so you can determine how our programs and products can meet your Tennessee state standards. And again, Suzanne will share that with you. So I'm going to go to the next page and let Dave share a little bit more.
Well, as I said, not just STEM kits, but we have the curriculum, and we have an outstanding textbook for aerospace education. I actually taught that course when I was a science teacher at Greenback High School. They let me bring it in and teach it as a part of the science curriculum as a semester course. We shot rockets, we built wind tunnels. It was amazing. And the kids really turn on. Kids have an inherent interest in aviation and space exploration. So all you have to do as a teacher is just have the resources to help you teach it. And that's what we provide at Civil Air Patrol. As you can see here, we have the textbook, we have all kinds of printed material. All of this meets national standards and Tennessee standards. So all you have to do, this is all part of your partnership when you partner with CAP.
And if you don't want the printed books, which you can order at any time, you can also have the online download to use, and those have the live links that can make that makes our curriculum more interactive for the students and such. So that should be helpful to you. Our newest book, which was just launched on Tuesday, 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 2/22/22, was our Tuskegee Airman book. And if you click on this, there'll be a sample lesson for you when you start looking at this afterwards. So we're going to go to the Aerospace Connections and Education program next. So Suzanne, could you share with us?
Yes, this is my 10th year being an educator member, and I didn't use the ACE program at first. I think it was my second or third year that I used it. I got excited about the STEM kits first. I just have to be honest. But I use it with all of my kids, K through 5, in my school. And basically when they come to library, about half the time they're going to get a library lesson, and about half the time they're going to get a STEM lesson. And this is where I pull all of my ideas from. So we've been doing Black History Month. So my kids have had lessons on Bessie Coleman and Mae Jemison and the Tuskegee Airmen. And so we're tying into social studies standards, looking at these famous characters from history, but we're also tying it in with the STEM and talking about, how they were groundbreaking, what they did, what they were famous for. I try and find video clips to show them to bring it more to life. The teachers like it because I tie it into their science curriculum as well. So there are lessons in 2nd and 3rd grade on being cloud watchers and being able to predict the weather based on clouds. And that goes along with their science standards on observing atmospheric phenomena and looking for patterns in nature and things like that. So for each grade level, it just works out that it always ties in with what they're doing. And usually I have something that I can print out that the kids can take notes on, or give something to me that I can look at and then share with their science teacher, and then they can take it home and it can start a conversation with their parents. By the time my kids go off to middle school, they can tell you the 4 forces of flight. They can name all the basic parts of the airplane. They love saying fuselage. They think that's the coolest word in the world. And they've all watched the 5th graders launch rockets at the end of the year. So they go forward being really excited, and all of them, girls and boys, think that I'm good at science. I can do this. So it's a great curriculum.
Thank you, Suzanne. And I would like to say that we use the aerospace theme in this ACE program to promote all areas of academics, STEM, art, social studies, geography, all those types of subjects, as well as character education and physical fitness. Again, we're pulling all those 3 things together, the academics, the character, and the physical fitness, as we're trying to prepare our future workforce. Each grade level gets its own set of manipulative items. And I know that most of you are 6th through 8th grade middle school. So we do use the 6th grade curriculum for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And this program is a good option for the ACE Plus Adopt program, which just started last year, where we're formally connecting classrooms with our local squadrons, and they bring adults and cadets into the classroom to teach these ACE lessons, as well as other lessons too. And Suzanne will be talking about that, of how she's worked with Dave through the years, in just a few moments. But we did want you to know that although this says K through 6, the 6th grade curriculum is used 6th, 7th, and 8th for our Adopt a Classroom program. And we would love to have some of our squadrons come and adopt some of your schools and classrooms. So I'll move to the next area, which is our STEM kit program. And I'll tell you this, Dave, we've got 22 free STEM kits now. With the COVID supply chain issue, every now and then we'll have to pull one off of the offering for the teachers because we can't get that from the vendor, or the vendor can't get that. So we have a rotating group of that are available to the teachers. They're in the areas of aviation, cyber, and space. Each one of these kits also has a curriculum guide to go with it. We also have a learning management online learning system where the students and teachers go into their online portal, our online portal, and continue with other activities and lessons. There are pre and post tests for each one of these STEM kits. And as you click on each one of these, you'll be able to see a little bit more about those kits. We don't have time to go over all of them at all. But one of the focuses when we started the STEM kit program was to make sure that we're providing career connections for young people. So as they're having a good time learning about these things, they're also learning about different career options of which they might not be aware before they participated in our programs. So Suzanne, would you like to talk a little bit about any of these? I'll just say one thing about the flight simulator, because we are an aviation organization. Besides having the flight simulator in the classroom, we also have cross-country navigation tools that go along with those, remote control aircraft controls, as well as indoor and outdoor quadcopters. So Suzanne, if you could share with us a couple of things, please, dear.
We started off with the Rocketry Kit, and I built the rockets with my 5th graders. It took us a couple of weeks because my library class time is rather short. We tied it in with their history standards because in 5th grade they were studying the end of World War II and the Cold War and the space race. And so we talked about how some of the rockets that were initially designed for military purposes got repurposed after the war into the beginnings of NASA. and they're very excited about that. We take them out and use them as part of a school-wide STEM day where all the classes are doing STEM activities all day long. We just take a special day. We have special guests come in, and then at the end of the day, to kind of round things off and send our fifth graders off to middle school, everybody else comes out and watches the fifth graders launch their rockets. So they really like that. We've also used the robotics. I got the robotics kit actually a couple of times because I was building up the amount of robots that I had, and we started a robotics club at school. It meets during the day. A lot of our kids can't get rides home after school if they don't get on the bus. So they can come in at recess during their grade level, and we work it out with the teachers that they can do the robotics lessons. And we've expanded it from just the first robotics kit that we got, and then we added on the Spheros, and then we added on the little B-bots that the smaller kids can program. And my fourth graders put on a robotics sort of rodeo or show for all the kids at the end of the year on that STEM day. And they show all the different things that they've learned how to make the robots do. While we're having our club meetings, we also show the kids videos about how robots are used in manufacturing or for robotic surgery, and all the different kinds of careers they might have that would involve robotics if they think that that is something interesting. The classes that like it when I do the cloud watching lessons also love using the weather station. And again, tying that in, we even have a class that after they do all the weather lessons with me, then they make their own weather reports, and we film it in front of the green screen in the library, and then they share the weather reports with each other, and they make up pretend blizzards and things to report on, and they have a fun time sharing the videos and then finding out about that sort of STEM thing, you know, being in front of the camera, being behind the camera, doing the editing, you know, finding background images to use with the green screen. So you can take any of these and build out from it in all different kinds of ways.
And Suzanne's great because she's the librarian and the STEM kit, the STEM orient coordinator for the school. So she really knows how to connect those things. But she's talked about the weather station, and that follows your 6th grade standard on Earth systems and the renewable energy on Earth and human activity, differentiating between renewable and non-renewable resources and such. So there are a lot of ways that we can connect with your Tennessee standards. So the teacher orientation program flights, I think we've already pretty much gone over that. I'm not going to spend time on that again, other than we want you to please plan a time for an orientation flight for yourself, your principal. Start off the school year with the principal flying over the school, radioing down to the students to have a great year. And as each teacher takes their flight, they're starting to connect those aviation principles to the STEM concepts that they're teaching as they fly the airplane and such. So I'm going to move on past that. We're running out of time here. But with the teacher membership, the aerospace education membership, Dave, his wife was an AEM. Suzanne is an AEM. I've been an AEM, or an aerospace education member, since 1986 myself. It is usually a one-time $35 membership fee with free annual renewal, but through your STEM.LD association, we will give you a free coupon code for you and any of your teachers on your staff to join as an aerospace education member, and then get the free annual renewal after that. Once you're a member, everything becomes free to you. We send the STEM kits, you keep them, you take your flights, you order your books, you ask for help in the classroom. So we will be able to do that for you at any time. Please watch these videos if you have time later on to see how being an AEM is important. But the cadet program is also very important to you because you have young people just the age that we have that are introducing the cadet program. We have local squadrons near you. I've searched them out and I'll show them to you at the end of this presentation, but they are there and willing to come in and talk about their programs and share what they do with the young people. Your young people will be very impressed, as will you be, with the sharpness of these young people who are really focused. Many of them had poor grades, poor goal setting skills until they started working as a cadet, and they just became more focused and more driven and ready to prepare for their future. There are after school squadrons, there are in-school squadron options. We can share all that with you. As you connect with us, we will hand guide you through each opportunity that's available for you. And then we have summer special activities for cadets all across the nation, over 100 different special activities where the cadets can test drive those career exploration opportunities, as you can see. So we've got lots of great things going on. When we have our STEM kits, providing to you, that's going to be supplementing what your other partner organizations are teaching you at your local universities, which is so exciting. That's how we can collaborate together. And our Cadet Wings program, the young people who are interested in earning their private pilot certificate can earn certificates to go to flight academies and even earn their private pilot certificate. So CAP has mentors at a squadron near you. Our members, our adult members and our cadet members, both are wanting to connect with schools. So we want to connect our squadrons with you. We'll help you do that as we become partner members to do that. They'll take your students out to the airport to get them hands-on. They'll help train them on how to use the flight simulator in the classroom and do other subject matter expertise training and sharing, as well as the cadets telling them what all they get to do in their squadrons. So where we are, we're all across the nation, as I showed you earlier, about almost 1,400, over 1,400 squadrons. But here you are in Northeast Tennessee. And if you enter your zip code, you can find the closest squadrons to you. Here are 3 right here with contact information, but we will handhold and help you get to connect with those if you need that. But the last thing we wanted to share, and I know we're over time now, but this is really important that we share with you not only the opportunities in your classroom, but the cadets to work with your students and your students to become cadets. But we have unique professional development opportunities for teachers, and we want to design these for specifically what your schools want. And Suzanne was going to tell you about one of her trips with us on the C-130, but Suzanne, we're running out of time here, so let me quickly talk about this. We load teachers up on C-130s and take them to different locations around the nation and learn about different STEM careers, so that those teachers then come back armed with new ideas to share with their students. And flying on a military aircraft is fun in itself. So this is one that we went to California. The teachers, before the first Mars rover was lifted to Mars, this is the Mars Curiosity rover, the teachers got to see this at the Mars Yard, at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and learned about it in June before it launched off to go on its trip to Mars in August. So we have great things to do. But working on a special workshop for your classroom teachers or your school on a professional development day is Dave, and Dave will be the person that you will contact for that. So Dave, could you give them a minute or two? We're over time, and I'm sorry, Law, for that. But Dave, if you could talk about what you can provide for them at their schools, we can come up from our national headquarters. We can get local people or Dave to support anything you want at the school. We will design it specifically for what you want and need. David?
I served 24 years as the director of the University of Tennessee Aerospace Workshop / STEM at the University of Tennessee. And we would teach from 20 to 30 teachers what is aerospace education, how do you teach it, and what are the resources. And we granted University of Tennessee and the State Department of Education granted professional teacher credit. UT actually granted graduate credit. We can bring that program to you, and we can seek out a partnership with a local university or technical school to grant professional teacher training credit. This can be done in either a half a day, 1 day, or a few days, depending on how much time we have to put the program on. But that's my experience. We get the teachers excited, and they go back and teach the kids. The kids are excited anyway, and they get more excited. And Suzanne Costner is an excellent example. She attended the basic and the advanced workshop at University of Tennessee, excited as you can tell, and won National Teacher of the Year.
Thank you, Dave. We really have so much more that we want to share with you, and we're blasting the message out that we are ready to support your classrooms in Tennessee any way you want us to do. If you want to be a partner with Civil Air Patrol, that's great. We will not be the typical partner of the other partners, but we will certainly be able to tailor anything that you need in your classroom. And we want to make sure that you can be a partner with us as well as others, because ours will not be as in-depth in the intensive type work that you'll need to do. So I think that we can be a good support to you. So here's our contact information. Here's Dave as he's doing a program with Suzanne's school recently, and Dave and Suzanne together. And this is Suzanne when she won her national award in 2017. So we want to be here for you. All the information is linked on every page in this presentation. Law, we're sorry we went over the time there, but we want to be able to help those teachers any way they want us to help them. They can contact any of us at any time. We will handhold everyone through each step of the way.
Awesome. Thank you, Susan, and the rest of the Civil Air Patrol team. You guys are actually like pretty much right on time. We had a hard stop at 4:30 here, or not a hard stop, but that was sort of our target. So at this point, I'll open the floor for any questions. And while questions are either coming into the chat or if people want to speak up, that's fine. I'll take care of a couple of just last minute housekeeping things. So if we'll go ahead and drop the survey link into the chat, I will also share it here on the screen for those that are going to be catching up via recording. So I'll throw that up there. This is the link again to get credit for having attended today. If you want to have your attendance marked and noted by us for your school, then make sure you fill that out. It just takes a second to do. A lot of ground covered today with both partners, and I just want to reiterate that all of our partners are really strong in supporting and in finding flexible arrangements that will work for you in your classroom, in your school, for your students. So please do not hear anything and think that, oh, if I'm going to partner with this partner, I have to participate in every single option. You can participate in as much as you have bandwidth for, and you can certainly do so free of charge, thanks to our STEM.LD grant. But also know that you have the flexibility to work with each partner to help make things fit what you need. So I really appreciated that. I think both partners today made it a point to mention that, and I just wanted to underscore it again. We do have a couple of, okay, so one question in the chat. Will we be emailed the links from the PDF that she was sharing? Yes, excellent question. So all of the links are in the, they will be posted on our website, our STEM.LD website, and I will ask if, yep, John Payne just beat me to the punch there. So you will probably want to copy and grab that link there. It's in the chat, and that will take you to the STEM.LD website. The recording for this will also go up tomorrow, and so you'll be able to pass this along to other folks if you want to have others take a look at this. I would strongly encourage you to take this information back to your teams at your school and pass it around. The process for actually choosing your partners in the upcoming weeks will be, we've got 2 more showcases, Monday and Tuesday of next week. No showcase on Friday. They'll be at the same time. You can follow the same Zoom link, in fact, that you followed today. But they'll both be from 3:30 to 4:30. After that, if your school has watched every single showcase, so there are 6 of them in total. If your school has completed all 6, then you'll get the survey link from us to start filling out which partners you would like to partner with, and then we'll start making those connections. It is absolutely fine for you to be reaching out to partners now if you know that you really want to work with Civil Air Patrol or Northeast State or any of our other partners on our showcases. They usually provide their contact information and are pretty easy to get a hold of, and we can also connect you. But the formal partnering of you and a partner so that we can kind of know who's working with who in the upcoming school year and the upcoming summer, that will happen after all the showcases are over, and that will be via a Google form as well. So I've rambled on here for a couple of minutes. If there are any other questions, I would say type quickly, drop them in now, or interject here. Otherwise, we'll call it a day, and I'll just say thank you again to everybody. We know your time is very valuable, and we're really excited about the offerings that are being presented here. So we really appreciate that you were able to stop by and spend some time with us today and learn a bit about Northeast State and Civil Air Patrol. And hopefully we will see you on Monday and Tuesday next week. Wendy, your question, how do you get to the survey? A couple of links up in the chat. You should see a link that says docs.google.com, forms / you can also go to this link that's on the screen here as well. You can type that into the